and the women that I've come across, is fear.
Fear.
What if I'm not good enough, or what if it fails? Or what if you don't try? What if it succeeds?
Yeah, and that's true, isn't it? Because, you know, if we make a mistake, does it really matter? Making mistakes, we learn from. We grow from that. And does it really matter what other people think?
No.
I think we spend so much time worrying about what other people think about us and how they're going to judge us if we do something. And I know that I've been there. And, you know, been in hiding and not allowed myself to do the things that I want to do because of the fear of what other people think. And now I don't care.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't care either. I remember in my 20s I used to care about what people thought, and in my 30s, yes, my 40s, yeah, maybe not so much. But now I don't care, because you've learnt enough in life to know your worth and know your measure. And you know, any woman that's out there, you know, and struggling with knowing your worth, and struggling with self-doubt, absolutely.
Yes.
You know, you just got to catch that fox, that dream fox, as I call it, catch it by the tail and just go for it. That's what I did. I could have sat in a corner and been depressed all my life.
You could have.
I could have.
Yes.
And that was one incident that happened to me. There were several others which, you know, they are another story for another time, but equally the same impact on me as a person, as a teenager.
But you've not allowed that
I've not allowed it
to impact your life now. And you are creating spaces now for women to come together and share.
Yeah.
And you know, if women feel comfortable and are able to share, then they may be able to move on in life and get rid of that self-doubt, have a good self-image, and develop the life, or create the life that they truly deserve and dream of and want.
It's all possible. It's
Absolutely.
just a mind shift. That's all it is. Like I said, I could have sat in a corner and been depressed and blamed so many people, so many things. But I determined that there was more to life than that. You know, yes, there are really tragic things that do happen, and
Absolutely.
I understand that it takes time and healing, all those things. But it's attitude that sees you through. It's how you approach every day, and that's how I live my day. I could be depressed. I mean, a couple of years ago I hit the wall like an egg on a Teflon pan. I just slid right off. I'd been overworking, I'd been not eating well, I'd been not sleeping well, I'd done everything against my own health, and one day I physically could not get out of bed.
Because your body tells you, doesn't it? You do things and abuse your body, and your body actually gets to a point and it says, enough is enough.
Yep.
No more.
Yeah, you got to
no
rest
more
now.
Yes.
And it took me a good, 6 months to start functioning again, and I remember vividly cancelling all my events because I just physically couldn't get from A to B.
And I know a few other women that's happened to recently. And you overwork, you don't take care of yourself, and it's an important thing. It's important that you actually take care of yourself first, nurture yourself, make sure you do some exercise, eat well. It's not about diet, it's about eating well. It's not about worrying whether you're a bit overweight or whatever. If you want to lose those few kilos, just change your eating habits. Exactly. Eat well, stop dieting, because that's a whole lot of rubbish. and I'll say that until the day I die, because I've worked in the health and fitness industry and I've seen so many people who have amazing physiques go from that to anorexics and bulimics, or they go the opposite direction. And there's lots of things that we can do to nurture ourselves and take time out, and that is go to a function or an event that is there for you. Go and catch up with your girlfriends, or go and have a spa or have a massage.
And it's okay.
It's okay. Not feel guilty.
No, and you give yourself permission to do those things, because what stops a lot of people, or women, let's just talk about women for the minute.
Yes.
What stops a lot of women from doing things is, I feel bad if I do this. Even going
It's guilt.
It's guilt. Even going to get their hair done.
Yes.
I don't deserve it. Who said you don't deserve it? If you can go and have your hair done, and it relaxes you for 2 hours, and you're back and you're bouncing back and you're ready to take on the rest of the day and take on the rest of the chores and all the other responsibilities, who said you can't have a moment to yourself?
Absolutely.
I do that often. I disappear. I go window shopping. I tend to just look at stuff just to get my mind off stuff.
Yeah.
I just look at things and just appreciate and walk away and not buy anything, which my husband's really super happy about. I will treat myself to a coffee or to have a lunch, even by myself. I will do that because that
Time.
gets my equilibrium back in my day. If I need that, I'll do that.
Yes, and it's giving yourself that space. If you feel like you're working too hard, just get up and move away from the desk or wherever you are working. Go outside, take a walk, come back refreshed.
Yeah, very important.
10, 15 minutes, half an hour, it doesn't matter. You can be less productive by sitting there working and working harder, or think you're working harder, but you're not working harder, and you're not productive. So get up, move away from where you are. If you work from home, take yourself away from the environment. Take your office out into a cafe or into a park or wherever, just to change the environment. Treat yourself. Go and have a coffee and not do any work. If you need a day off, have a day off.
Particularly if you work for yourself, or you work from home. I find that many times I will get to the 2 o'clock mark and it's almost like the batteries run out.
Yes.
Because I've been going since 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I pretty much have done a full day.
Yes.
So I will then just grant myself permission to say, Josie, it's time for you to go up the shops, just walk around, just get yourself away from this place. And it's amazing, that little break when you come back, how much more you can achieve.
Absolutely.
And for anyone that's particularly that works from home, if you have a schedule and you block it into your diary and you can say, all right, on a Wednesday afternoon I will log off at 2 o'clock and I will not be returning to this office until Thursday morning at 9 a.m. I can tell you it's so liberating.
Yes.
So liberating.
And it's all about taking control, isn't it?
Not
allowing your environment and your conditions to control you, but you to actually take control of what's happening in your surroundings. Be aware of what's happening in your surroundings, but don't allow it to control you.
Yeah, absolutely. I have days where I only will do housework.
Okay.
I will only do that because I can't be in the office and then doing housework.
No.
Putting a load of washing on. It just, the momentum just...
It breaks it, doesn't it?
The momentum.
And, yes. And
in
the
a
thought
negative
process.
way.
Yes.
Right? But getting yourself up and out of the house and going somewhere is a very different feeling altogether.
And also, if you're working from home, set yourself a timer. Give yourself an hour to 90 minutes to work on a project without any distractions, and then get up and walk away and go and do something. Do a load of washing or whatever, just take yourself away from your work and then go back to it and put the timer on again. And I find that works really well for me to time things. I'm awake at 5 a.m. So, I make myself a cup of tea and then I start. And I start doing things because I need to get things done by a certain time, so I allow a certain time to have certain things done by, and then I'm out the door. Yeah,
I mean, discipline is one of the things that people get enthusiastic about for a little while.
And then they lose it.
So with all our reminders, all our gadgets, all our phones and all our iPads and things.
The distractions.
Well, with all of that, but you think that we would be disciplined enough to set reminders in those gadgets to keep us in check and keep us accountable to ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
and the only person that you really have to be accountable to is yourself. Not to anyone else. As long as it doesn't impact on anyone else or harm anyone else, you need to be able to do the things that you need to do for you to get whatever it is done, and then have some space.
Yeah, space
is good.
Super important.
I think so.
Important.
Because if you keep working, your mind becomes foggy and you really can't think. You don't have that clarity to think.
No.
You need to step away from it, and even find someone that you can have a conversation with. If there's something that you're really struggling with, have someone you can give a call or go and have a cup of coffee with and talk over the strategies of whatever it is that's not quite right, but you can't put your finger on whatever it is that's happening.
And that is really important. I think if I had listened to myself earlier on in the piece, when I went through my little moment, my Kodak moment,
your Kodak.
If I had listened to that, I would have probably been okay.
Yes.
Somebody would have talked to me and talked some sense into me. You're working long hours, you're not eating correctly, given me the lesson, so to speak. I would have listened.
Yes.
But
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, so I had to pay a bigger price.
Yes.
And I crashed, as I said, like an egg on a Teflon pan, just slid right off.
But you won't do that again, because you have that awareness now.
True.
And it's really important for you to actually say, okay, Josie, I've had enough now, let's go and have a break. Or if I'm working too hard, I'm going to have tomorrow off and I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing housework, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to go out for the day, away from work, away from housework. That's particularly if you're working from home. And there are a lot of women that work from home and have that flexibility to be able to drop their kids off at school, pick them up after school, and have that. So it's a great thing. And also talking about women who are looking to go into business for themselves, to be really mindful why they're going into business.
Yes.
And not creating a job for themselves.
Exactly.
It's something that you really have to be mindful of. It's all about, if you're going to create a business, what's the business, what's the purpose, and really sit back and think, is it something that I need to have a cash flow? How am I going to do that? And not expect everything to happen instantly, because it won't happen instantly. And you have to work hard at it. So be prepared, if you're thinking about going into business, to take the steps, have a conversation with somebody who is actually in business, or several people, to find out what they've done and why they're successful. And don't reinvent the wheel. Just get on the wheel.
That's right.
And follow the strategies and the plans to make it easier for yourself. So Josie, if there was one thing that you wanted to say about life, about running events and being, what would it be?
There's lots. There's lots, but I think one of the things that stuck with me when I was a little girl, someone gave me a plaque, and it was a Sunday school present. Someone gave me this little plaque, and it said something like this: I shall not pass this way again. So any good, I'm just paraphrasing, I can't remember it word for word, but I shall not pass this way again. This day will never come again. But if I can do any good to anyone, today, then I'm living my purpose. So if I can do any good today, has stood with me and is inside me every day. If I can do good to someone, and sometimes it's not about money. Sometimes good means being on the phone. Good means being a listening ear. Good means, even someone is angry with you, but just being there for them, being in the gap, standing in the gap with them. If I can do any good today, let me do that, because I won't pass this day again. This day, what's today's date? The 13th?
13th
of the 11th of 2017 won't come again. This time the 4 o'clock won't come again.
No.
So what good have I done today? What good are you going to do today?
Well, the good that you've done today is come in and have a conversation.
Oh, that was a long time coming. And thank you.
It was a long time coming with a lot of persistence and persuasion.
Well, good on you for doing that.
And all the rest of it. But let's talk about your event again. It's on
Yes.
December the 4th.
Monday, December the 4th.
It starts at around 6:30.
6:30, yes.
And it will go until what time, roughly?
Generally between 10:30 and 11, but it depends on how many people want to keep on dancing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and look, it's a lovely event. TLC for Kids is our charity of choice, plus all
Beautiful.
our beautiful guest speakers and prezzies and all sorts of wonderful Christmassy things.
How can they connect with you?
Sure, they can connect with me via Facebook,
Right.
under my profile, Josie Kearsey, or www.secretgirlsbusiness.net.
Okay, so it's www.secretgirlsbusiness.net or on Facebook, Josie Kearsey, Kearsey. If you go on to her Facebook page, Secret Girls Business, and connect with her there, she'll be happy to connect with you and answer any questions. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on my Facebook page, Faye Waterman, Radio Presenter, and send me a message. You just use Messenger and send me a message if you think that there's some form of conversation that you would like to have or hear on my show. Please let me know. Until next week, thank you, Josie, very much for coming in. And I will hand it over to the Samoans now for their show. Thank you. And they're ready to go. We'll turn that off. We'll turn that off so we don't have to listen to them. Can't